Hello and welcome to Sports Tonight on Channels Television. I am Tai Salam, of course, right here in Lagos. Austin Okonakpan is already ready to join the show as well. What's up, Austin?
Don't say more, Tai. Be on the show in London. Austin Okonakpan, so much going on in our world of sport. People can now feel the fever. World Cup is here. Indeed, it's 3 days to go until the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. We've got updates coming from the build-up to the World Cup on the show, so try and stick with us for the next 45, 50 minutes thereabouts. Of course, we've got updates coming from the camp of Senegal. What's the status of Sadio Mane, their talisman? You're going to get to know on the show, so stick with us as well. Too. We also got updates coming from the international friendly between Nigeria and Portugal. Not great news are coming from the Jose Alvalade Stadium in Lisbon, Austin, where it was 2-0 before we came on air. Eagles trying to get their rim. I think after the penalty call was not harsh, but maybe they were just fortunate, to concede that one just before break. But you said it right. Portugal 2, Nigeria 0. Everything is in it for Portugal with this friendly game as they get ready to go to the FIFA World Cup. The schools of Nigeria play for bragging rights and maybe at that FIFA ranking position. But Tayo, I just want to see what Jose Pizarro is doing with this team. I thought Osai at right fullback hasn't badly. He's somewhere trying his best to an impact in the team. So pretty good so far. Convincing, maybe because I don't know how to explain it. They're still trying to get their blend, just trying to understand the objective. But it's good to see them score a goal or two in this one, Tayo. All right, then. So we'll keep you updated, definitely, on the match between Nigeria and Portugal in the course of the program. It's not just me and Austin on the show tonight. That's because we've also got Bolu Omoni is also on the program. Bolu, good evening. How are you feeling? Are you feeling the fever for the World Cup already?
Yeah, it's getting here already. Too many things we are hearing, different stories about what's happening in Qatar, this and that. One thing I say is if you are going to a man's land, if they tell you don't sit here, you don't sit there. If they tell you don't go this way, you don't go. Because we want to enjoy the FIFA World Cup. And with the friendlies now, Nigeria are not going to be in Qatar, but we are playing the World Cup football already. Even though, like you rightly said, the result is not favorable. Portugal showing what they have. But again, beyond results in friendly games, it is the confidence you have going into the tournament that matters. And sadly, the hope for Senegal at the World Cup has been dashed as Sadio Mane would be missing. I think that's bad news for Senegal. That's bad news for Africa. But again, one thing they should do for him now is to give their best just to celebrate their superstar. Indeed. We'll see. We'll tell you more about Sadio Mane later on. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the World Cup, Austin is champion at the beats as well too. Let's give you updates coming from the Globe Soccer Awards, where it was once again Karim Benzema was named the Men's Player of the Year, while Barcelona's Alexia Putellas was named the Women's Player of the Year. It was a successful night for Real Madrid after Carlo Ancelotti was also named the Coach of the Year, while the club itself picked up the Best Men's Club of the Year. Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah received the biggest cheer on the night when he was announced as the Fans Player of the Year. Former England and Manchester United striker Wayne Rooney, as well as Sweden's and AC Milan striker Zlatan Ibrahimovic, were also honored with career awards. Sergio Ramos, guess, he's been voted as the best defender of all time. Let's go over to the Globe Soccer Awards. Enjoy the rest of the awards. They will take reactions from some of the winners.
To be voted best defender of all time is something incredible, very special. This represents the work, effort, and sacrifice during my career.
It's an honor for me to receive this award. This is the second time. The first time was in 2014 when we won the Decima, and this time to win the Champions League number 14. It was a fantastic season, an unbelievable season, unforgettable.
Well, you guys put more pressure on me now, but I think it's always great. The most important part of the football is the fans. So you win that award voted by fans is something great, so I'm something grateful for.
As a fans player of the year at the Globe Soccer Awards, Mohamed Salah, of course, of Liverpool and Egypt. You have to say for Karim Benzema is just another, deserved honor award after a sterling 2022 season with Real Madrid.
Any award that has to do with the best player all through this year, except it's maybe African or Asian. Yeah. But any global award, before each award, just write the name Benzema there. You can start asking questions for that. Okay, who deserves more? When it comes to men's player of the year, I think it's a no-brainer. Everybody agrees it's Karim Benzema because, yes, it's had a poor start to the season plus injuries plus everything, but 2021-2022 season was just too amazing for Karim Benzema. I remember when Ronaldo left, many said Real Madrid are done, they are down and out, but Gareth Bale, people thought Bale would be the one to step up. Unfortunately, he couldn't step up that much, but Benzema picked up the guns from there, scoring goals are plenty, and despite the few injuries he had last season, he still scored lots of goals and helped the team win the Champions League and the La Liga. It's not something you check Real Madrid's history, despite winning too many Champions League titles. It's not every time you see double. It's always maybe they win La Liga a year before, then Champions League the following year. But helping them pick up a double, I think it's not the main feat. So congratulations to Benzema and Real Madrid. At least the things they couldn't win at the last Ballon d'Or, team of the year and everything, they got it at the
Congratulations, Austin. Benzema, of course, undoubtedly the best player in the world.
Before we started, look forward to different and how the Ballon d'Or to what today with the Global Awards. Just to read what Bolu said, I said it's Benzema. Oh, Benzema, Any player wins any major award, when he's going to receive it, he needs to say, on behalf of Karim Benzema, I received this award because it's been a fantastic year for the Frenchman. And what a story, very inspiring story. He used, last season to tell the world. It can't be over. It's over. A lot of persons wrote up Benzema at the time. He was under the shadows of Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid, but look at today, the world was praising Benzema. Short time, 2 years ago, persons had doubts that Benzema would be part of this French team going to World Cup.
Right.
But look at today, with all of accolades. So good. Shout out to Mo Salah also, and I think arguably the most prestigious award when the fans endorse you. They know your trade, and he said that's more pressure on him because, we've given him that award. It was good to see Wayne Rooney. I thought that time for a minute. It seems Wayne Rooney is bigger than him. What do you think?
I don't know about that. Anyways, yes, congratulations to all the winners on the night. For Karim Benzema especially, showing that age is nothing. But just a number, 34, the oldest Ballon d'Or winner since Sir Stanley Matthew in 1956, all those years ago. So it's an inspirational figure for a lot of players, both professionals and upcoming players out there. So let's get on with the show now, and let's get into the World Cup proper, the segment. The countdown continues. It's 3 days to go to the World Cup, Austin. I'm very excited. I can feel the fever, definitely. And we're all excited for the tournament to kick off on Sunday between Qatar and, of course, Ecuador. Those are the two teams I'll play in the first match. And Bolu, I mean, we've been counting down for a long time now. Now we're literally very close. You can feel it, so I'm sure you're excited as well.
Yeah, 3 days, if you're counting it by minutes, maybe it looks white. If you're counting by hours, maybe a bit wider days. But 3 days is just 1, 2, 3. And I'm sure by this time, 3 days, the game has kicked off already. And now it's here to stay for all the off-field distractions and everything. I think most people are now focused on, okay, well, it's here, especially now that we're playing some important friendly games. And like I tell people are underrating the opening match. Who cares about Ecuador and Qatar? But I said, many said the same thing about Russia and Saudi Arabia in 2018. But after that opening match, I think too many people got glued to, okay, well, maybe this World Cup is going to be exciting. And I think people have not really followed Qatar's progress in recent times. Since they got the rights to host the World Cup, they've been growing in leaps and bounds. They won the Asian Cup in 2019. in 2021, they got to the quarterfinal of the CONCACAF semi-final there. So it means before you won't mention Qatar, mention anything about group stage. We mentioned Qatar the way you are mentioning Saudi Arabia, or even worse. But now they are growing step by step. So I'm sure the opening match will find a way to change everybody's mindset and idea. Okay, well, I'm not saying they will beat Ecuador. I'm not saying Ecuador will win, but I think it's going to be an interesting game. Maybe from then, we will start feeling the buzz. Okay, well, the World Cup is here.
Yeah, you know who's excited about the opening match between Qatar and Ecuador? Of course, the fans, the Qataris are excited. Of course, yeah, we're going to see pictures that are coming from the Qatar fans now gathering by the World Cup countdown. 3 days to go. They're all very excited. There you go. Pictures are coming from Doha right there. And these guys, trust me, they're going to troop out to watch Qatar play on Sunday. Forget the fact that they're not a football superpower. Forget all the controversies about Qatar being too small to host the World Cup. They've got the rights. It's going to kick off on Sunday, and all these fans will be very excited to watch their team play against Qatar. And you never know how much the crowd will spur them on against Ecuador. Of course, you have to say Ecuador are the favorites going into that game. But Austin, like I said, Qatar, the fans, they're very excited. I mean, a lot of controversies about them hosting the competition, but they won't care when Sunday comes around.
And there's also that group of persons that protesting also, which we see every year whenever we have the World Cup. But I tell you this for the pumped up, tired, the passionate, the fact that they are holding the World Cup. And we're going to feel it when they take on Ecuador at the opening game. Look, when Qatar plays Ecuador and eventually wins, then we will understand what it will do to that group 8 that's got Senegal and the Netherlands. And for the fans, look, I remember I met a fan in Moscow, in Moscow, and he said he follows gymnastics. They had to come to the FIFA fans because a lot of persons have come into their country. And that's what we're going to see in Qatar. Whoever doesn't feel football, when you see on television number of visitors coming into Qatar just for the Cup, you're going to get up and go to the stadium. You know, what we'll see, what Qatar, they've also done, empowering fans from all over the country and Saudi Arabia, just to come out there and, you know, give some support to the Qatar team. I think they're going to make a whole lot of noise. And, you know, there's been some concerns. You know, people are asking how safe at the stadium. You know, each time we have the World Cup security issue comes up, and FIFA has been trying to address it. I remember at the World Cup in Brazil, it was the opening day, protests all over the country. And for a minute, you think FIFA will cancel the competition, but no. We saw the best of football at the 2014 World Cup, and I think that's what we're going to see Qatar also. Before we get to respond, let's listen to FIFA. They're addressing the issue of safety, which is very, very, very important, because when you have people coming from different parts of the world, you know, safety will be very, very important. And that's what FIFA is trying to say. Look, the stadiums in Qatar are very safe.
Well, the stadium we are here, it's called the 974 Stadium because it's built with 974 containers. And after the World Cup, the containers will be closed and the whole stadium will be shipped somewhere else. It's part of the legacy as well of this World Cup, the sustainability of the World Cup, thinking about the environment and not just building white elephants who are not used thereafter. The stadium will be reused somewhere else in the world. This will be quite a unique World Cup because it's a very compact World Cup with 8 stadiums in 50 kilometers. You can watch more than one game per day, which is again unique. This never happened in any World Cup, and it will never happen in future as well, because everything is happening here in a small country with a big heart.
8 stadiums will host 64 matches at the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Qatar is a country of less than 3 million, and Bolu, it's something very unique about this Qatar World Cup. All the stadiums are in one location in Doha, and you can actually get to see 2 matches a day. That's how cool it is.
It's good for mobility, kind of, but I think they have to boost their security, especially for those games. Remember,
Absolutely.
In England, for example, I tell people when Manchester United and Man City, they play different stadiums, even though the pitches are closer. But they don't play home games together because they know what it takes, fans, the culture, and everything. So now
keep everyone in control.
Exactly.
Yeah,
even the North London guys, Arsenal and Spurs, don't play home matches the same weekend. So now imagine most games played almost about, especially those last group games where they will play games simultaneously, same locations, everybody. It's going to be fun for fans. It means when I watch a game for 11 o'clock, I can find my way to another stadium to watch another game for, I think it's 3, then the later game in the day. It's good for them. It's good for tourism. You necessarily don't have to go around the entire country. But your location, you can move about. And like you said, their population is just over 3 million. And they're expecting about 1.5 million people there. That means they're expecting about half of their population. I think one thing is that the business will boom during this World Cup for Qatar because people will buy things. That one is sure. And when people are buying stuff, more money for individuals and, of course, more money for the nation.
Indeed, more money for the nation. And that's all about one of the benefits of hosting a major competition like the World Cup. We wish Qatar all the best for this tournament. Austin is back with us. Before we move on to updates coming from the Senegalese camp, you were in Russia, and you know how far wide apart the stadiums were from each other.
Remember, I wanted to travel from Moscow. It was from Moscow to Volgograd where Nigeria played. I remember that game when we won 2-0. Yeah. And so no flights. I couldn't go with the bus. I needed to jump a train ride. 19 hours time. 9 hours from Moscow to Volgograd. Russia is a massive country. So this is a World Cup where, you know, we will jump at it, you know, and that's why I say, look, no problem, no pressure. We've got this. It's going to be a unique World Cup. Gianni just said it that we will never have this kind of World Cup right after this. You know, you described Qatar as a small country with a big heart style. Did you listen to some of the things they said they are doing with infrastructure? That those materials are reusable. They can be folded after use, you know, and that's them considering the environment. So close to Qatar with that one. We'll definitely World Cup for us to remember. Let's hope that football at the end of the day gets us to win.
Exactly. We hope indeed it's a unique World Cup going down in Qatar starting on November the 20th. Let's go straight to the Senegal camp now and tell you, Bolo already let it sleep earlier. Sadio Mane has now been ruled out of the World Cup, unfortunately, even though he was listed in Senegal's official squad, but he's not going to be a part of the World Cup, which is very, very sad because Sadio Mane, of course, is their talisman for Senegal. That leg injury has just proved too difficult to overcome in time for kickoff. I
do think that is one of the reasons why many are criticizing the World Cup during the winter in-season. Because now there's just 1 week break from club football, and immediately club football ends 1 week after.
You get injured, no time to recover.
Immediately the World Cup ends, I think, on the 18th. A week after that, the league games resume again. So no rest and everything. We'll be seeing players having 1 or 2 injuries. Look at Nkunku as well. It's
sad.
Just normally maybe an average tackle in training. He got injured. It means the body is tired. The body is... Even Antonio Conte complained about Hurricane being fatigued. But it's sad not seeing Sadio Mane at this tournament. People are already looking forward to Senegal are in not so tough group. And if you see Senegal's game all through for like a year or thereabout, not that they dominate that much, but they do the basics, defend well, and send the balls to Mane, he gets to go for it. Now Mane is missing. They can still play. Anybody can play well without anybody, but definitely that Mane factor would be missing in the squad. But again, remember what Bruno or Bernardo Silva said, that we want to play for Ronaldo because of the off-field distraction. So maybe the Senegalese can also decide to say, let's play for our superstar, Sadio Mane, and go as far as we can. I believe if they can qualify from that group, based on the group they're going into, they have what it takes to even progress through to the quarterfinal. But again, football can surprise us sometimes. First games are always important in every World Cup.
Yes.
Their first game is against the Netherlands. If they pick up positive points from that group, who says they can't even top the group? But they will definitely miss Sadio Mane. They knew the injury was there. They just had to take a risk. Well, we can invite 26. Yeah. Let's see if he'll be fit enough. Same thing South Korea are doing with Song Heung-min. But unfortunately, Mane will not be there at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar.
It's very sad. Very unfortunate. Austin, that's one of Africa's biggest star right now, arguably second at the Ballon d'Or, and he's going to be missing out, on the biggest football tournaments in the world. Okay, before Austin, before we get your thoughts, we need to go on this break. When we come back, we'll continue our build up to the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Join us again. Welcome back to Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Before we went on that break, we were updating you from the camp of Senegal, the Teranga Lions. The talisman, Sadio Mane, has been ruled out of the World Cup. He's not going to play any part in Senegal's bid or attempt to go past the quarterfinal stage. It's going to be a massive miss, Austin.
It's painful, Tayo. So painful. In the last 5 years, what's Senegalese football without Sadio Mane? You know, sometimes you want to ask football, what's going on? Why does this happen? You know, where we have a big competition. That's Africa's biggest star World Cup, and it's been ruled out. African Footballer of the Year, second at the ballot. You know, we have Liverpool to achieve virtually everything they achieved last season before joining Bayern Munich. I was hoping that it would be better. I still pray it gets better because Sadio Mane deserves to play at this World Cup. Tell me what other year does the professional footballer wants to end 2020? It's not just to play at the World Cup. You know. I don't know. I said it'd be an unusual World Cup. We're beginning to see it. You know that some of the big stars already injured. It's not like we don't used to this back in the day when the World Cup was played in the summer. But this is just so painful because some guys we really expected to see at the World Cup and being due to injury, and they're still in an active season. And it's so sad. If I was said is, I'll be so broke that Sadio will not be at the World Cup. But it is what it is. We'll go on. Quick update, Tyler, from what's going on between Portugal and Nigeria. Samuel Chukwueze got a good run at goal. His effort was stopped by the goalkeeper. At the other end, Portugal tried to make three, but Francis hold up a fantastic save. It's still Portugal, Nigeria 0-0.
So, all right, I've got about another 15 minutes or 20 to see if Nigeria can come back to, perhaps get a goal or even an equalizer against Portugal. Let's continue our profiling of the teams going to the World Cup in Qatar. We've got 3 more teams to profile before they go to the World Cup starting on Sunday. We're going to start with Ghana. That's Black Stars of Ghana, one of Africa's representatives. The Black Stars here, like I said, the 6th, the ranked Ghana, they're a very good side, no doubt, and we'll see how they do at the World Cup. Of course, they're definitely not 6th in the world. It's going to be their 4th appearance at the tournament, and they got to the quarterfinals in South Africa 2010. They were so close to going to the semifinals. Unfortunately, they had that issue where Luis Suarez, did what he had to do for his team to advance into the next round. Just a penalty away from reaching the last 4 would have been Africa's best performance at the World Cup. There's also the captain is Andre Ayew, the son of Abedi Pele. The best result, like I said, was in 2010 in South Africa. And we're all looking forward to seeing Ghana represent Africa very well. Let's move on to the next team. Is Uruguay, the Sky Blue. Of course, I mentioned Luis Suarez already. So there is bad blood definitely between those 2 teams. They'll get another opportunity to settle the scores in Qatar. They're 14th in the world. It's going to be their 14th appearance at a tournament. The head coach is Diego Alonso. Is Uruguayan, so he definitely knows the team very, very well. The captain is Diego Godin, and the best result, 1930 and 1950. They've won it twice, 1950 after World War II. So they're definitely a team to really watch out for when the World Cup kicks off. And last team we're profiling on the show is South Korea. The South Korea, the Tokyo Warriors of South Korea, 28th in the world, and it's going to be their 10th appearance at the tournament. Head coach is Paulo Bento. He's a Portuguese coach. The captain is Son Heung-min. He's got a bit of a problem right now. They're trying to patch him up for the World Cup. He's on the list, but it looks like we're going to be seeing Son Heung-min wearing a face mask at the World Cup. Of course, the best performance was 4th. That was in Korea, Japan, 2002. We can't forget our tournament so fast because they had a fairy tale run all the way to the semifinals, beating Italy as well as Spain on their way. And can't forget Andrew Wan as well. So what a player he was for South Korea. So we're going to focus on Ghana now. Definitely, I'm going to go back to Bolu. Ghana, what are their chances of, perhaps going or surpassing what they did in 2010 in South Africa? That'll be a semi-final spot.
Well, I worry a bit for Ghana because first thing is what happens to all the guys that helped them qualify to the World Cup. There are 11 players in this squad that have 5 caps and under. Some of them have never played for Ghana. Some are playing their first game today in the friendly game they won against Switzerland. And even 2 out of those 11 have those 7 caps. It means they have more like fresh squad, new players who have not necessarily played together. And that could be a factor. The interesting thing is only 10 players in this squad have scored for Ghana. And out of the 10, about 7 of them are just 1 goal. It means the cohesion, experience as a team is not there for them. But it does not mostly count sometimes in tournaments like this. But again, like some person will tell you, when you put 11 logs together, if they train and play together for a long time, you would see the cohesion. They can easily close eyes and think, okay, Tayo is here, Bolu is here, I can send the ball without thinking so. So that's my little word for them. And like you rightly said, that coming against top opposition, especially in Uruguay, there's a bit of bad blood. There's probably revenge. But Uruguay have some men in that squad and some young guns who are biting, fighting hard. We can see what Portugal are doing to Super Eagles of Nigeria. Beyond the result in that game, the possession is wide. Yeah. At least the last I checked was about 71-29 for Portugal.
Dominance.
And some superstars are not even there, like Ronaldo. Bruno, who scored the 2 goals, has been subbed off. And so it means they are coming up against top oppositions. If it's what we saw Ghana display at the AFCON, even the game against Nigeria, you can call them fortunate. If it's based on those 2 results, you can say Ghana are in trouble. But again,
I see where you're coming from in terms of their lack of experience. But they've got some really decent players
talent,
on the squad.
Williams, Salisu, and the likes. Those guys decided to join them.
Mohamed Salisu is a
exactly. So he scored one of the goals against Switzerland. So if they bring all this experience together and it works, there's nobody to fear. Salisu can't be scared of Ronaldo. He has faced Ronaldo in the Premier League. Iñaki Williams can't be scared of anybody coming from Uruguay and co because they have faced Real Madrid, faced Barcelona and co.
Hardly misses a game.
Exactly. So if all these experiences can come together and work as a team, I think Ghana will be a force. And remember, their coach, Otoado, has experience. He worked with Dortmund before deciding to come together. So they can bring all these things together, and if it works for them, we may see another Ghana team. Same thing I said about Senegal. If Ghana progress through to the next round, they also have a chance of moving farther in the tournament if they can just qualify.
Indeed, apart from the players we mentioned, there's also the experienced IU brothers as well. So those are players that Ghana can bank on if they want to go all the way or surpass their quarterfinal achievements in South Africa 2010. Austin, you're back. Quick one on Ghana. What are their chances and how do they prosecute the tournament?
Definitely they're going for their chances. It's tough when you've got Portugal and Uruguay in the same group, and we know the battle between Ghana and Uruguay from the 2010 World Cup. So looking forward to that fixture. But if you take a look at this Ghana team, I think what they have going for them is faith. They can believe in them, And I like what the country did. Nigeria should learn from them. They said with Otoado, stated we are on to qualify for the World Cup and still take him to the World Cup because he knows that the team, they were woeful at the AFCON, but the AFCON is gone. They will say to themselves, if we can top Nigeria and go to World Cup, we can keep that momentum going. And they've got some exciting, names in that league. People might come up and stuff formidable, but those guys have good European football experience. I'm looking forward to see what Mohamed Kudus of Ajax would do when he the Thomas Partey was being fantastic form for Arsenal. So Ghana looks like the team that can get Africa Cup to believe. I'm looking at Ghana as an ex-Morocco, but with Ghana, there's just this let's say, die mentality when they get into that field. And the fact that they've been there, done that, they were very close to bring the African record, advancing at the World Cup, and it didn't happen. I can't believe that. That's all Ghana can do. And if you take a look at some of the names that were mentioned, good experience from the French League, good experience the Eredivisie, from the English Premier League. They can all come together. They're professionals. I think they get the blend together and play purposeful football. And I can really get us talking.
All right, fingers crossed. We'll see how it pans out. We, the Black Stars of Ghana at the World Cup. Let's move on to Uruguay now. Bolu, Uruguay, you already mentioned the experience, Diego Godin and the likes in that side. And what are you expecting from them in Qatar?
Well, let's look at the front line. There's a certain experienced Luis Suarez. There's Edinson Cavani and the young Darwin Núñez. In midfield, there's informed Federico Valverde. In defense, I talked about Godin. There's Araujo as well and Cáceres. There's experience everywhere. And they are a formidable side. If you follow their progress in the last 2-3 years in CONMEBOL, you know these guys are solid. They know what they want. But again, how do you blend both? Because sometimes these competitions are completely different from what you have before. But based on what we see on paper, man for man, I still think they will do enough to progress to the next round. The last time you remember, like you mentioned while we were doing that car for winning for Uruguay, if I say I covered that event, I was definitely joking. The 1950 World Cup, since then they've been striving hard. Luis Suarez helped them at a point to get closer, but they couldn't go beyond the quarterfinal, semi-final. That was thanks to the Suarez handball against Ghana in the quarterfinal. Then they got to the semi-final. But they want to win. Do they have the players? Yes. You know, sometimes you don't need all the superstars. No. You just need a few pegs to put in the right places, and they will click. So I think Uruguay, one of the teams that can still go far. The thing with this group that they are in the same group with Ghana is if you progress from this group, you have to do everything you can to qualify as first. Because if you finish second, there's possibility you will play Brazil. Samba boys, and if you are playing Brazil with their form, with the players, you may. So I think they will do enough to qualify. How far they can go, that's left.
So you've just said Uruguay will do enough to qualify in that group. I think you say the same thing about Ghana as well. So what's going to happen to Portugal?
No, my take is Ghana is a hope. If they gel, if they come together, because Portugal just scored their third goal against Nigeria like 2-3 minutes ago. So I think they are ready. I remember Ronaldo is still missing. Bruno has even been substituted, the Bernardo Silvas and co. So I think they are the favorite from that group. It's a battle between Uruguay and Ghana. But if I'm to put my head or my cash on someone, I think it will be
Uruguay. That'd be too bad for Ghana, but of course, we'll be rooting for Ghana. The African brothers, I will be hoping they can advance into the last 16 of the World Cup. Let's talk about South Korea quickly. Of course, the headline story coming from that part of the world is Son Heung-min, the captain, who's going into the tournament not being fully fit. Has got a facial problem. He's likely going to be wearing a mask, and he's your talisman. You struggle to see where or how they're going to do at the tournament without a fully firing human Son.
Well, first off, sad news. When I'm talking sad news about Nigeria, I always tell Austin to block his ears. Portugal has scored the fourth goal.
There you go.
Then,
Austin. Anyways,
I think the entire Asia will be the one to miss Son Heung-min because he's a force. I remember when people were talking about the greatest Asian South Korean to play in the Premier League, talking about Jin Sung Park. Everybody said, maybe based on trophy, yes, but performance-wise, Son is one of the most underrated players we've seen in a while. He's an all-round football player, and I think South Korea will miss him a lot. I don't think he will play. I think he's in the same situation like you said with Sadio Mane. It's just for hope. Okay, let's just add him. Maybe his presence can still boost the boys, ginger the boys. But from what we got from reports, it doesn't look like Son Heung-min will play at all in this tournament. And if Son is missing, Son missing in any team around the world will be a big miss. But will they give their best? Yes, but I don't think their best will be enough in this time.
Perhaps another An Jong-won.
Well, maybe, who knows? Someone else may just rise up. Sometimes it's like they'll say, someone's own, sometimes they have to be bad for another man to rise up. If the superstar doesn't fall, maybe the next man wouldn't rise. We talked about Senegal. Mane missing out could be the next best thing for someone like Ismail Assar. He may be the next best thing for Senegal at the World Cup. And people will start thinking, well, maybe Mane may not be the greatest alone. Someone could be on the side. So maybe Son missing could be good news for someone else, because if South Korea progress and they go maybe a bit farther to something like quarterfinal, a name or two will definitely be mentioned. So let's keep our fingers crossed.
All right, fingers crossed indeed for that group involving Portugal, Ghana, South Korea, and Uruguay. Let's get on with the show now. Of course, Bolo has already given you updates that are coming from Lisbon, where it's not great news at all. Nigeria down 4-0 against Portugal. But earlier today, there were matches, pre-World Cup friendlies involving other teams that we have the results for you. Ghana defeated Switzerland 2-0. Very impressive performance from the Ghanaians. Mohamed Salisu, one of the scorers in that particular game. And it's always good to go into a major tournament on a winning note. There is a confirmation of the result, 2-0 for Ghana over Switzerland. Antoine Semenyo was the second goal scorer for the Black Stars. Japan lost, surprisingly, to Canada. Canada are making a return to the World Cup for the first time since Mexico 86, 2-1 over Japan. Spain 3-1 over Jordan, expectedly, while Morocco defeated Georgia by 3-0. Hakim Ziyech scoring a fantastic goal worthy of a Puskas Award in that particular encounter. And before we leave Ghana, finally, beating Switzerland, another team going to the World Cup, very formidable side. We saw them at the Euros in 2020. That should definitely boost their morale, their confidence going into Qatar.
I think it's a good win. Switzerland, like I tell you, when people are underrating Switzerland and Serbia in that group, saying Cameroon will qualify, just after. One thing I keep telling them is Serbia finished first in the group that had Portugal, and Switzerland finished first in the group that had Italy. So I think the result is big for Ghana. It's huge. Like we've been talking about them team cohesion, and so then your game leading to the tournament, you won, not beating San Marino, not beating Andorra and the likes, beating the Switzerland side. I think it's good for them. It's a brilliant morale booster. Maybe this can spur them on and let them understand we may not be the best, but we can definitely be some of the best. Ghana are the worst ranked team in this tournament, 61st in the world. But sometimes ranking doesn't matter. Do your business on the field, and after tournaments, you grow up.
Especially in tournament football.
Nobody cares about ranking. If it's about ranking, like I always refer to, Russia won't play the way they did at the World Cup.
And this World Cup looks like one of those ones where we could get to see like a major surprise based on, you know, all of the issues and how you make the World Cup.
Players are tired. Some players have to start resting, easing up. Look, players like Benzema and Ancelotti said he understood why. So some players were just easing up, but those that were fighting hard for their club side, when he gets to this competition, you expect them to put in more effort. But like they say, local balance, body no be wood. It will tell. So we may just have a word upset. Maybe who knows, an African team.
Samuel Eto'o said it's going to be Morocco versus Cameroon in the final.
Anything is possible. Remember, the last time an Asian team hosted the World Cup, Senegal got to the quarterfinal. So maybe next time we can go a step further.
Indeed. Fingers crossed. Let's get on with the show. We're still in Qatar getting ready for the World Cup. There's 3 days to go, and the teams have started to arrive. Let's start with the defending champions, Le Bleu. They have arrived and hoping to defend their title. We're going to see pictures are coming from their arrival. Of course, Karim Benzema is on the team, but he's got issues. He's not very fit. They've got Didier Deschamps, who will be leading, hoping to help France win back-to-back tournaments since Brazil did that in 1958 and 1962. For France, I mean, they've got issues in the midfield. That's just, there's no other way to put it. The midfield is looking very bad, looking very inexperienced with Pogba and Kante missing. But in terms of talent, the other guys, Camavinga and Rabiot and the others, Money, those are really decent players as well, so that should be able to step up for Le Bleu.
Remember, the curse of the defending champions started with France. They won 98, and 20 years after they won the World Cup. Then 4 years after, they lost in the group stage badly from Senegal all through. And from them, only Brazil escaped defending champions. So maybe they can be the ones to end it. But like you rightly said, their major stars, Kante and Pogba, they survived without Kante. At least Tchouaméni has been eased into the team. But when Tchouaméni got eased into the team, they say had Pogba. Now Pogba is not there. The question in the mind of the manager should now be, would I decide to play Camavinga there as a superstar or play at the Rabiot there? So there are many issues in the team. And Guendouzi is also in the form of his life. They doing well for Olympic Masters. So the question now is, one of the things Deschamps did well was playing Tchouaméni and maybe Pogba or someone else in the middle and play a front four. Front four of Karim Benzema, Mbappe, play Griezmann and Nkunku behind them. Now Nkunku is out of the tournament. Question now is, should I keep the same system and if you someone else, Ousmane Dembele is also in very good form now. Should I play Dembele, Benzema, Griezmann and Mbappe as well? Or go back to his traditional 4-3-3 where we'll have Tchouaméni, Camavinga and like you said, maybe Guendouzi or someone else. Those are lots of, I'm sure Deschamps will be thinking of too many things, thinking of too many options. But quality is still not the problem. Like you said, they have lots of talent. How will they come together to play? I don't think the course will continue this time. But again, we did think it will happen in 2002 when it happened. So they have the talent, they have the squad. Will they go further in the tournament? Will they bring these guys together and achieve a huge success? They have the talent again to defend their title. But sometimes when the competition starts, it's not always what we think.
Indeed, France are in Group D alongside Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia, another African representative right there. Austin, the issues of France are well documented. What are the chances?
When Bolu was talking, I had to go look at this again. I'm like, this is a team. It stars everywhere, you know. So with the French team, you never. First thing first, the defend champions. So that's what we won't get going. And any team in them, you approach them with the mindset that you're playing defending champions. And right there, they are already winning. You know, if you take a look at their group, it shouldn't be any problem to get out of that. That's one. But what I like about Deschamps and this team is every level, he has found a way to find a replacement when a top guy is missing. But look at the defense. It's still rock solid, you know. And they've got an goalkeeper in Hugo Lloris. So if they're packed at the back and try to do magic in the middle, I'm sure the four guys will take care of that. That was what France did at the World Cup in Russia. I keep saying it until when they took Argentina out, that person started paying them attention. And so I think they still got a good squad, you know. If we're starting through the names now, people that have doubts will start saying, why were we have doubts? But I totally agree with you that it's going to be a World Cup of surprises, World Cup of upsets, because it's an unusual World Cup, and so we should pay for upsets.
Indeed, France will start a campaign in Qatar against Australia. That's going to be on November the 22nd. They should be able to get 3 points in that game and begin their title defense on a winning note. For more arrivals, let's go to Argentina, now one of the favorites to win the competition altogether. They're coming into Qatar on the back of a 36-game unbeaten streak, and you have to say Lionel Messi, Lionel Scaloni, the coach who's turned around the fortunes of Argentina, they will be hoping and looking to win the trophy definitely. They beat the UAE in a friendly match just yesterday. They will open their campaign against Saudi Arabia. Should be 3 points for them before they go on to face Mexico and Poland. Argentina alongside Brazil look like the bookmakers' favorites to win this tournament.
Like every other Argentina side, they always have great attacking guys, and I believe one of the most underrated players in the squad has always been Di Maria. People don't give him enough credit. That guy can threaten or wreck any defense. I remember the 2014 World Cup that they got to the final. Immediately Di Maria got injured in the quarterfinal, and Argentina stopped scoring. In fact, they didn't score any goal all through for the rest of the tournament since he got injured. And we are talking about Di Maria. There's the Korea guy there. There's Julian Alvarez of Man City. But I don't need to call the other name. Everybody knows who the other man is. And this is last chance salon for him to pick up a World Cup again. When people talking about Messi being the greatest player, guys will tell you he's not even the greatest at their time.
True.
That the greatest at the time won the World Cup for them. Now he wants to lead the team to also win. They have what it takes. They have a compact squad. Maybe just good defense and okay midfield. But that front line can wreck any attack, can wreck any defense, can wreck any midfield. And you know what Messi's style of play now is? He doesn't necessarily stay up front alone. It drops sometimes to the midfield, push forward, it drops to the middle. So it makes it maybe a bit difficult to stop. And if Di Maria is also fit for this tournament, I think oppositions will be in trouble. So Argentina definitely going to top their group. Except football happens, I think they have what it takes to finish first in their group.
Indeed. Lionel Scaloni, I always go back to that coach. Ever since he became the coach of Argentina, we've seen a totally different side. We used to see Argentina packed with loads of talent, but never really delivering on the pitch. But was able to help Messi win
on the Copa America.
The Copa America, so they'll be going into the competition in Qatar. Austin, you're laughing. What's funny?
I like what you said about Sony, you know, because until Messi won the Copa America, people were comparing him with Ronaldo, saying Ronaldo won the Euros, Ronaldo this. So Scaloni came in and things are looking for Argentina. I think they're also a decent team. I think if you take a look at some of the players in the team, it goes beyond even Di Maria and like Messi. I'd like to see what Dybala, I think 2 seasons ago was lighting up the Serie A. No, and it's still this format. So I'd like to see what he can do at this World. You know, some of the players we can call, oh man, Gomez, Julian Alvarez. Look, this is Argentina. You can't have Argentina at the World Cup and think that they do not do something. So let's see. Like Messi, I think he will get into World Cup without pressure. It's just going to have fun. Definitely, this will be his last. Who knows? It might just be memorable for the Argentines.
All right, indeed. One more arrival before we close the show. Germany. The German machines are also in town. They've arrived for the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Germany are going to play Japan. You know, they're going to play against Costa Rica as well too. And they've gone to bring back Mario Götze. Maybe that could just be, you know, how do you put that now? Yeah, they brought back Mario Götze, scored the winner at the World Cup in 2014. And, of course, anytime Germany goes into the World Cup, there is always huge expectations from their fans.
Let's start like this. Since Joachim Löw took charge, they always get to at least the semi-final. Up until the last World Cup where they got knocked out, still the curse of the defending champion. Now we don't know what German side to expect. Remember, they started well at the UEFA Nations League until they started going poor, but they fought hard against England. We thought they were losing that game, but they fought hard to equalize. So they have the squad, they have the players, they have men in the team, they have hungry men. Remember, the coach had to go and bring back some old guns. How they will start this game will be important. They're also in the same group with Spain, where two teams you don't know what's going on, but you still want to tip them as favorites in a group that has Costa Rica and Japan. So I think Germany too should have a good tournament.
Germany and Spain. We can't wait for that blockbuster, the second match between Germany and Spain. Austin, we've got to go, so you know what to do.
I know what to do. I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed, keep counting out to the World Cup, and when we come back here, give some more to talk about. That's finished. Portugal 4, Nigeria 0. Tayo, something that I didn't like in that one. Nigeria got penalty. True Second wanted to take it. Emmanuel Dennis to take it. Emmanuel Dennis took it and missed it. That's a show in London. Austin, Okonakwan, and everything you do remember. Keep talking sports by now.
Another great way to end the show. Thank you, Austin. Thank you as well, too, for your time. We're going to get more opportunities to talk about that game. It was obviously a bit of a disaster for Nigeria against Portugal. Thank you for your time.
Not a good time to talk about Nigeria losing heavily, but it's a friendly match. Friendly games are not for us. It's always good to be here at the time.
All right. Thank you all for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your night. I am Tayo Salam.